the only evidence of particular animals. And it might be a bone fragment that's been found that a dinosaur or some other animal has eaten, and it might be that bone fragment that...
Hi, my name's Paul Stafford. I'm a children's book author and a literacy consultant.
My name's Penny Packham. I'm the Education Officer at the Australian Fossil and Mineral Museum in Bathurst.
Penny and I present a video conference module called Scattered Bones from the museum. It's a combination of science and literacy.
Anybody work that out? Is a smaller dinosaur. It's probably about... We can't take our T-Rex on the road to deliver education programs to people in remote communities in New South Wales, so we do that via video conference. Over 13,000 students have visited our museum on a virtual excursion over the past few years.
We've come across just about every problem you can encounter with video conferencing, I think, and we've developed a bunch of strategies for overcoming them. That's what we're presenting to you today. A successful interactive video conference is not a lecture, it's an interactive lesson. And the format that we work off is a 5 by 5 by 5 one of 5 minutes of explanation or presentation, 5 minutes of class activity, and 5 minutes of students reporting their finished product.
If as a presenter you have a question to ask the students, don't ask it as an open question to all the schools, target a particular school by name. Ask the teacher to nominate a student for their response.
Plan for active teacher involvement and make the teacher in the classroom absolutely aware of what their role is going to be. Part of this process is teaching the teacher your strategy so they can replicate that in the classroom. And it is important that the teacher knows their role is going to be an active one. They are not a passive observer.
It's important to limit the number of schools in an interactive video conference to 4 or less. If you're seeking response from the students from one school to another, keep that on a very tight rotation, because we've found from feedback from the teachers that the students tend to lose focus if they're listening to the other schools for too long. The other two people have ever said that to me, and they're people with 1-year-old children. So, the other thing... It sounds really obvious, but as a presenter, remember to listen to the response that the students are giving you. Sometimes it's very easy to be thinking about what you're going to be saying next and not focusing on what they're saying.
You must have well-prepared content and clearly defined outcomes. Don't try and over-present, don't try and cram too much information into one session. Wherever possible, try and present with a sidekick. It makes for a much more dynamic format, it's friendlier, lighter, more accessible.
Each presenter has a particular role in the delivery of the workshop, and in our situation, Paul provides the writing content and I provide the science.
And when you think about it, it's a format that works for breakfast television, it works for radio, and it works brilliantly for video conferencing.
The next point is don't overdo it. Delivering a lesson via video conference is actually quite exhausting. You have to concentrate 100% of the time. We've learned through practice to limit the sessions to 50 minutes and to not deliver more than 3 sessions per day, and to try, if possible, to keep those sessions in the morning rather than in the afternoon.
Be aware that this is interactive TV and observe the protocols of professional broadcasting. Most importantly, know what the status of the mute button is on your microphone. There's nothing worse than having chatter coming through on the mic when you're off screen. Secondly, have your mobile phone ready and accessible, on silent obviously, but with the number of the tech support team programmed in. We've got our number for connections, and tech difficulties are part of the territory. Be ready to ring the technical support team, have an emergency exercise for the class to be doing while you're getting back on track. Make sure that you support all of your sessions with relevant resources.
Make sure also the teacher knows what's expected in terms of the resources, what's available, when they need to be delivered to the students.
And make sure that the teachers get the handouts well in advance so that they don't turn up to a session empty-handed. The other part of professional broadcasting is be confident, smile, have fun. It comes across in a video conference. And remember to keep your eyes directly looking into the camera. Don't look at the monitor. If you look at the monitor, you look shifty. And kids lose interest if they don't have that eye contact. If you're considering using external footage or a live camera feed, be aware that the internet compression could actually degrade the quality of the footage. So try not to have too much visual information in there. It will be difficult for students to understand. Be aware of time lag issues. When you're broadcasting to an international school or a school of the air, there can be a time lag of up to 10 seconds between you asking them a question and getting a response. A handy rule of thumb is to literally count to 10 in your head before you ask the question again. Otherwise, you're going to have a scenario where the answer's coming in as you're asking, there's going to be confusion, there's going to be a mashup. Think about the logistics of a live cross on the television news to some remote location and the kind of time lag they're dealing with. That's the scenario. When you don't have a fact sheet. Now, when you sit NAPLAN, they're going to give you a fact sheet. Make sure you use it, okay? We're going to see you again before NAPLAN on Friday. Finally, a couple of points on audience control. If you've got an unruly or uncooperative group, don't try and discipline them yourself. It doesn't work very well over the internet. Use the classroom teacher as the troubleshooter. Get them to exert discipline in the classroom. Also, try and avoid having too great an age range in your audience. For example, having a Year 5 and a Year 7 group together will not work. The Year 7s will resent being lumbered with the Year 5s. The Year 5s will feel intimidated. You might find some of the groups you're broadcasting to display certain cultural issues like an overwhelming shyness or a seeming unresponsiveness.
You need to be sensitive to cultural difference, and sometimes when people come from a non-English speaking background, you might need to work out ice-breaking strategies to really establish the fact that this is an interactive session right from the beginning of the session.
Some of those strategies could include, if they were non-English speaking, having them teach you some of their greetings or a national song, and your inevitable mashup of that is going to be a source of amusement and hilarity to them. It will be a great icebreaker.
We've even had kids do the chicken dance if we've needed to.
Exactly. A dance, some cool skill they have, a trick they can do, something that is going to be them presenting to you and you mimicking to their amusement.
Well, I wasn't going to call it that, but yeah.
So, in conclusion, to my mind, the secret is to have an achievable format, and the 5 by 5 by 5 equation works best for us. 5 minutes of explanation or presentation, 5 minutes of classwork, and 5 minutes of student feedback. What about you, Penny?
Keep it interactive by continually asking the students for their opinion, continually asking them for their feedback, and most importantly, to really enjoy what you're doing. If you're having fun, they're going to be very responsive.
Yeah, relax, smile, be confident, and be all over the content of your presentation.
And don't panic.
So that's it from us, and we hope this has been informative in some way. A lot of these strategies have been developed through trial and error, lots of error in fact.
Yeah, a lot of error, yes.
So we hope that they're useful to you. Good luck, have fun, enjoy your video conferencing.
Yeah, if you're enjoying what you're doing and presenting, the students will respond.
Sign up.
Bye-bye.